Well, hello there. Welcome to Loose Lips, CTV's current affairs show for women. I'm Bea Cheer, and joining me tonight is our talented regular panellist, Janice Gray. How are you, Janice?
Good, thanks, Bea. Nice to be here.
Good to have you here, as always. And our very special guests tonight are two awesome women who have done so much for Christchurch residents, young and old. Betty Chapman is an amazing advocate for elderly Eastern residents living in earthquake-damaged homes. Betty enjoys working for her community and is well respected by both Christchurch City councillors and local MPs. Welcome, Betty.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Helen Gaetoni is also joining us tonight, and she's the manager of the Tenants Protection Association. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Hi. And after more than 20 years of working for the community, Helen has seen it all. Since So since the earthquake rental problems have exacerbated, her team has grown and more people are needing help every week, aren't they? So welcome to Loose Lips, ladies.
Thank you so much. Lovely.
Lovely to have you here. So on today's program, we're talking to a panel of older women about how they are perceived by society and the media. The media's constant message is, to age is to fail. Oh, please, give us a break. Most mature women are not on a quest to regain their lost youth. Ageing is not a problem to be solved. And please stop treating ageing as a failing or as a crime. It isn't. Everyone ends up old. There is no escape. Age will find you eventually, and you'd all be well advised to leave cosmetic surgery well and truly alone. The pressure on our generation to look young is robbing us of the opportunity to experience one of the many benefits of middle age: contentment with who we are. We simply must not allow ourselves to be talked into believing that ageing and time itself can be stopped. So over to the panel this evening on ageing. Is it a curse or is it a blessing? My lovely panel, what do we have to say about that this evening? A curse or a blessing?
No, look, it's a matter of fact, isn't it? You're born, you live, you die. And that's the beginning and the end of it. But the thing is, what I notice, and I'd like to offer as an example of being an older woman, is the way the boys race into the dairy when I'm also entering at the same time, and they don't step aside, the little buggers. They don't, and generally they're wearing those. It's true. Have you been given way to in a dairy lately? And when it does happen, well, you almost want to kiss the dear old soul.
That's so rude.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And they don't care if you're carrying baskets or years of contentment or whatever. They just push.
So it sounds as if manners have gone down the tubes.
Manners have certainly gone down the
Right.
tube. What about the kids that ride bicycles on the footpath?
Yes.
Keep death off the roads, is that it?
And keep it onto the footpaths.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. And with regards to youth, my sister always had a good statement, and that was, how to keep your youth was not to introduce them to your flatmate.
Right. Yes.
Totally agree with that
Note
one,
to
Janice.
self.
Yes.
Note
I've
to
certainly
self.
heard of some of those kind of stories in the work that we do.
exactly, you
Indeed,
would.
it's really important.
You would have seen a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about some of those situations.
Those
Helen.
interesting situations
Yes.
where the older person gets entangled, so to speak, with the younger person. And those shared tenancies, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, and it's all very well when they're all getting on well.
yes.
But as soon as they're not getting on well, it goes to custard, is that?
Indeed.
Yeah, okay.
Or can.
Say no more.
Yes, yes. No, we're here to say a lot.
Oh, I'm sure
So
you
you
are,
can say
Janice.
more. Yes, you
sure
can.
you are.
Feel free to say more.
We will.
Betty, what are
I'm
your
sure.
thoughts? Age, is it aging? Is it a curse or a blessing? Or
Well, look, we've just got to go with it. You've got
Exactly,
no
you have to.
option.
Yeah.
We live, we die, as Janice said.
Yeah.
And I think enjoy it. Make the best of each day. Don't count the days.
No.
Make the days count.
why fight it?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Make the days count. Yes, I think that's
Just
wonderful.
do
Don't count
something
the
good
days.
each day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just get involved in good things and enjoy it.
Yes.
You know.
And I think, a lot of people aren't getting involved, are they? I think
I'm
there's
a bit frightened.
Well, yeah. Do you think
know,
there's
if
less
you don't
of a...
know anything and you don't trust something, you are a bit reluctant. It takes a lot to encourage people to join clubs. Our bridge club is looking for members. If I could do a little Christchurch Bridge Club, you know. A little plug. Christchurch Bridge Club, wonderful. They're giving free lessons at the moment in your phone book. Give them a ring. Wonderful.
Awesome. So is there that tendency to not be so involved as you're getting on?
Well, we're not going to take up ice skating, are we? We might. Well, I'm not going to take up ice skating. I can only speak for myself. It's not likely that I will go up the Mekong Delta.
Right.
Don't want to, okay? I've done a bit of travelling and I feel that my travelling time is over. I'm rather pleased with myself, actually, because I'm in a state of contentment and I couldn't give a continental.
Awesome.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
So it's prioritising things, it's making choices.
Well, it helps getting your knees done, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it
The
just,
pain going?
yeah,
Beautiful.
regaining some of that contentment, right? How do you hold on to that? That sort of
Wine
contentment.
often helps, of course. I've found that.
It's wine-free month, Helen. Come on, no drinking.
I find the
It's July.
pleasure that sort of follows that is always so helpful because, I mean, how can you apologise when you can't remember what you've actually been doing?
Handy.
And maybe that's something that we could,
handy.
you know, keep in mind.
I
And it's always
don't
worked-
believe you're serious.
Absolutely, I'm serious.
Okay, what do you drink?
Anything that gets in my way.
She is serious. She is serious.
Anything in a glass. No, but look, are you ladies ever sort of horrified by some of this sort of stuff to do with potions and gadgets and methods and techniques to prevent ageing? I mean, I just read the other day that skincare company L'Oreal have admitted, they finally admitted to lying about a skincare product that they promoted as gene altering. So it was one of these anti-wrinkle, anti-aging products, and they finally admitted
Snake
to
oil.
lying.
Snake oil.
Snake oil.
Snake oil.
Nothing's changed really,
No,
has it?
it hasn't.
It's the snake oil thing.
And the thing is, B, what you'll find is that our ladies will agree, I'm sure, is that we're young for a short time, a very short time, and we're old for quite a long time.
Yeah.
You know, if you're 80, I mean, when one thinks of living to 80, at 40 you're middle-aged.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
And how many of us think of that when we're 40?
We don't.
I mean, we don't think of that,
We
do
don't.
we? And it's, you know, don't they say youth is wasted on the young?
Yes.
It's that concept as well, isn't it? That we just don't understand in that first half of our life really what it's going to be like later on.
No, but the young won't understand about us either, you know.
True. So no one's understanding anybody really. But another freaky thing, vampire transfusions. Okay, so apparently if you receive a transfusion of blood from a young human, it's likely that it's going to
Watch out, kids.
perhaps
on
prevent Alzheimer's, perhaps interfere with the ageing process. It may prolong life. Of course, they've tested it on mice. They haven't yet tested it on people.
That sounds ridiculous.
Anyone want to put their hands up to be a guinea pig for that one?
No.
Oh, isn't that unbelievable? And of course, they're calling it vampire transfusions because...
Oh, that'll encourage a lot of people.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Let me bite your neck.
Yeah. But obviously there's scientists and there's, you know, professionals out there who are seriously tinkering around with the idea of altering ageing, the natural ageing process. I mean, how do we feel about that?
I don't want to be 90-year-old and have tits that aim for the ceiling and slim legs and wearing short leather skirts.
Surely at 90.
Well, I plan to, dear.
Yeah,
No. I think we should be happy with our lot. There's not much that we can do to change it except grow our intelligence.
Yes, yes, yes. Perhaps I should be working on that rather than tinkering with all the wrinkles and...
And you can guarantee that a cosmetic company won't be sincere about it. They'll be in for the money.
Absolutely. And like you say, snake oil, it's
Snake oil.
always been the same with the skincare products, hasn't it? Forever and a day. And I can't believe it's actually legal for them to make these statements about what half of these things do.
Correct.
They are face creams. It's not the same as having surgery or Botox or anything like that, is it? That's all it is. Yeah. So enough said about that. Coming up after the break, in the media, once a woman turns 50, she seems to become invisible. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to Loose Lips. Our next subject this evening is invisible at 50. Last year, there was a lot of hoo-ha about age discrimination in the media in both the US and the UK. It appeared that as soon as a woman on television reached 50 or even younger, she met an untimely end. Now, we know that women are marginalised by the media, old and new, but it's discriminatory to cut a woman's career short when a man will remain on screen until he's much older. It is the time of life that a woman should be able to feel her most confident. Once she reaches her 50s, she's experienced the ups and downs of relationships, she's taken lots of responsibility at work or at home, and she's seen a little or even a lot of the world. And yet it seems that many women of this age don't feel confident at all. They feel that they just don't fit in anymore, and they just don't feel confident around the opposite sex. Here's some old-fashioned advice.
Well, all I can tell you is, athletics, cosmetics, a weighing machine are part of the feminine daily routine for what? And oceans of lotions and potions you take to keep that old something or other awake, why not? Even after you grow old, baby, you don't have to be a cold baby. Keep young and beautiful. It's your duty to be beautiful. Keep young and beautiful. If you wanna be loved, da-da-da-da, don't fail to do your stuff with a little powder and a puff. Keep young and beautiful. If you wanna be loved. If you're wise, exercise all the fat off. Take it off of here, off of there. When you're seen anywhere with your hat off, have a permanent wave in your hair. Take care of all those charms, and you'll always be in someone's arms. Keep young and beautiful if you want to be loved.
Hilarious. And that was 80 years ago. Nothing much has changed. So with all their achievements and experience, why are women of a certain age lacking in self-belief? What can a woman do to prevent fading into the background and becoming invisible at 50? What do we think, ladies? What can we do to prevent it?
Yours.
Yours.
Betty?
What can you do to prevent looking invisible?
Preventing that sort of disappearing feeling after 50 or even before.
Keep interested in your interests. Join clubs. Do things like volunteering when you're even on a part-time basis before you finish. So you've got an interest after you retire. If you're planning to retire, keep motivated. Enjoy doing what you enjoy, even if it is a hobby after your work. You know, just keep interested and keep connected with people.
Interested and connected, isn't it? Doing what you love or developing what you love, you know, something that you perhaps just did as a hobby and develop it more as you mature.
All the women that come to my groups in the Christchurch Eastern suburbs are in their 50s, and we have a lot of fun. You know, we do Zumba, we do Sit and Be Fit, we have interest in cooking and healthy living lectures. I do a lot of functions, annual functions, and I have the ideas, but they're doing all the work.
Right, yes.
And it's great.
So it's pulling people together, like-minded people together, isn't it? And perhaps there's more of that sense of freedom when you're with other people and they're having fun doing it too, or they're willing to give it a go.
Absolutely.
You feel braver, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd like to congratulate you on the work that you do in the community, Betty. I admire you. And you too, Helen.
Both of them.
Yeah, they do.
Fantastic.
They do good work.
Yes.
Good work. Whereas now that I'm into retirement, there are a lot of good books out there for me. I love reading. Reading. Bridge, cooking, and now and then I might have a glass of wine here and there. You know, not too many. But it's just lovely being older, I reckon. You haven't got the same hurdles to leap.
That's
You
right.
don't have the same hurdles to
Well,
leap.
that's because you can't. Particularly with your knees.
Make them slightly lower.
Well, of course.
That's okay.
You don't worry so much
Exactly.
anymore. You
Well,
don't
you get
worry.
over the trivial
Yeah.
garbage that we've
Yeah.
struggled with as we've
Yes.
And you,
got through
you,
those
you
early
sweat,
years, I
you
guess.
don't sweat the small stuff anymore,
right.
Yeah.
You don't worry about the little stuff. You know,
Other people's opinions?
No,
No.
it doesn't matter.
No.
You
Yeah.
feel that you don't perhaps need to prove yourself anymore.
No.
Is that
Well, there's a
sense
certain
too, isn't it?
release in learning that too.
Yeah.
One's, you know, any time I've heard a criticism of myself, I've always said, well, look, dear, if you want to pay for everything, I'll change. You know, you buy my clothes, you buy my jewellery, you get my hair done, you do that, and I'll do what you want.
And that-
no takers, of course.
Oh, I was going to
No.
say, does that get the message across? But
well,
no,
it does,
maybe
because they shut up.
not. Ah, right.
Yeah, yeah. And I think menopause, I'm sorry, you were going to say something, but I think menopause for us women is a release too.
It is.
Well, as long as you don't pause for too long, because you do need to re-engage.
I'm speaking about getting your womb out.
Oh, I see.
We're going to be talking about
hysterectomies,
we're going to be
are
talking
we?
about that a little
Right.
bit later.
Are we? Oh,
At
I
the
see,
moment- at the
so
moment
I'd
we're
better shut up.
Well, we're still talking
Right.
about this whole thing of, you know, why is it that women, particularly in the media, tend to become sort of invisible before or around 50? Doesn't matter how talented they are or how attractive
Well,
they are.
I can't
how
agree with that, actually. Look at Dolly
experienced.
Parton at Glastonbury.
Yeah, I saw that photo
Isn't it
the other
fantastic?
day. Wasn't it awesome?
Yeah, that's good. And we've got
Absolutely
some
amazing.
wonderful women in the community
Yes.
who are over 50 and still surviving, still managing, and not necessarily on the arm or in the shadow of a man.
Right.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, and it's their own and being their own person as well, isn't
Yes,
it? That's
which
the
is
thing.
something that they've learned through
Yes.
the first 50 years.
Right, comes with experience.
Yes, I would
thing.
say.
Yeah. So it's maybe just part of this rite of passage of life, isn't it? That we need to go through this first sort of 50 years and we need to get that experience under our wings before we actually understand what it's all about. And we can maybe then feel more confident and, you know,
I
trust
don't need to
ourselves
feel
be
any more
braver.
confident. I'm happy.
No, we don't need
How
you to
about
be
you,
any more
Beth?
confident.
Yeah, no,
How about you?
I feel good too. I feel
about
really
you?
good at
I'm
what we
very
do.
good at pretending. I'm not altogether sure that I'm always confident. However, I mean, I'd like to feel that I'm confident when I need to be. I think it's untrue
that's
to
sufficient.
say that.
That's sufficient.
I think for a lot of women, they really do struggle with confidence, and at whatever age. And I think at 50, you're starting to slow up a wee bit, and you're wanting to be all of those things that you promised yourself that you're going to be as a young person. And for whatever reasons, you may not have achieved all of those things. So
Right.
I think that a lot of women, and including myself at times, we're very hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And that messaging may or may not come from externally. Of course, a lot of it does with
Yeah.
all of the media hype around beauty and youth and not, showing your age. And however, I do think that perhaps we're as hard on ourselves as anybody else. So,
We are.
Yeah.
We are. We're hard on ourselves and we need to just
For a
lighten
lot
up
of
on
women,
that,
not
don't we?
all women, but
Yeah.
some women
Yeah.
who have struggled and
Yes, we need to
find it
learn
difficult.
from that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Helen. Well, coming up, we discuss menopause and we ask for some timely advice from our panel to pass on to younger women. See you soon. Well, welcome back to Loose Lips, CTV's current affairs show for women. Today, we honour older women. They're not invisible on Loose Lips, in fact, far from it. For our next topic, I wanted to talk about the change of life. A recent movie called Hot Flashes raised awareness for breast cancer as well as approached the stereotypes of age and menopause. And Menopause the Musical, which is going great guns in the US, draws on the humour women use to deal with uncomfortable midlife symptoms. It's really encouraging that media and marketers are finally taking notice of the huge midlife demographic too. Hey, we're here and we've got the money. Here's a clip from Menopause the Musical.
Yes, I thought I'm losing my mind, but I found out, no, it's just a part of the change. My body tried to warn me, ooh, the signs weren't too cool. It's treating me mean, yeah, treating me cruel. Change, change. Change your life. Well, it's not alright, not okay, and you can't look the other way. My husband tries to understand, it's just no concept for a man. Whether you're a sister or whether you're a mother, you're staying awake, staying awake. See the sun breaking and you're up, could you make it and you're staying awake, staying awake. Staying awake, staying awake. Staying awake.
Terrific. So whilst it is good that menopause is getting positive attention, in reality, many women hide their symptoms and they are afraid to share their discomforts with even those closest to them. So it's time we speak to each other and we shift our attitudes too. In spite of the change in our hormones, there's a lot more that we want to experience in our next stage of life. Janice, I know that you've got a lot to say on this subject. So what did the gift of menopause teach you?
I had a problem and I went to Harry Bashford and it was discovered I had fibroids.
Okay.
Right? I didn't know about fibroids. I didn't know that you could get fibroids, but I'd been asked to do Miss Hannigan in Hamilton. So I said, well, look, Harry, I've got this play to do in Hamilton, so the fibroids will wait. He said, they're too large to come out through your vagina, so we'll have to operate.
Right.
You know, and that means that he took the womb and the fibroids out.
Yes.
Now, prior to that, there was hot and cold flushes, there was wobbly nerves, there was everything that goes along with menopause. But what a relief once it was gone. Onto the HRT, and life changed once again.
What's the HRT?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, right, okay.
Very good, very good,
Oh,
very
okay.
good. But you can't take it for too long because there are risks involved, and they say that HRT could make it difficult for your bosoms. So there you go. I don't mind menopause. What is it? The playpen's, no, the carry-cot's gone, but the playpen's still there. Is that it? Is that it?
Nice. And long may the games continue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, the HRT thing, it has been a little bit controversial, isn't it? 'Cause
Yes.
it's great for some people and
Yes.
not great for others.
True,
Is that the deal?
True. And you can take it in pill form or stick it on your body and everything like that. But
Yeah.
talk to your gynae obstetrician, I don't know.
I mean, with so many medications, there are always side effects, aren't there? And we just need to perhaps just avail ourselves of the information and
Yes.
the pros and cons.
I know
and
more about menopause now than I did when I was going through it.
You're an expert now. But
Now.
do you wish that you'd been an expert or more?
No,
more clued up
everything
before?
everything that was done correctly.
Right.
Through, yeah. But
Yeah.
I know more about it and I'm more sympathetic to people that are having the hot flushes when they say, you know, oh,
Yes.
it's a hot flush.
Oh my gosh, and they sort of
Yeah.
just well up from somewhere deep, sort of in the middle
Oh,
of
you've
you.
got no
and they
control
just-
of them.
And isn't it incredible,
Yeah.
that feeling?
Yeah.
And they just spread
Yeah.
out and you just think...
Yeah.
And quite often you might think, can people actually see this
Yeah.
happening to me?
Attach it to a generator.
Right. And
What
I
about you
think
guys?
actually reframing it and calling them power surges was a really positive thing to do. I mean, I've got to say that I seem to have got through it. I got through it without noticing it very much.
Right.
A few of those power surges. I think that's about the only thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
However, I certainly know of lots of women and know lots of women
Yeah.
who've experienced the power surges and the kind of that, I don't know, the shame that goes with somehow
Shouldn't be
breaking out in a
It's just such a
in
weird
this-
feeling,
Yeah, it's
I
a
think.
weirdness of it, isn't
and
it?
you just,
but
it
it
takes
is
you
silly.
by
It's so
surprise.
stupid.
Yeah, and if you're out there amongst people and you're starting to get this feeling, you know that you can't turn it off, and you do wonder if people notice it on you, but of course
Doesn't
they
matter
don't
if they do.
really.
Well, it always
and it
always
doesn't matter if
happens
they
at
do
the
anyway.
most inappropriate moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all
No.
with the group of ladies I'm with. Look, yesterday in one of my groups, I had one lady sitting over a heater freezing and the other one was at the other side of the room sweating.
Yes,
You know, with a
Turn out
towel.
the fan, turn out the fan, and you just get used to taking the layers
It doesn't
off,
worry us.
and then you cool down, and then you put the layers back on again,
we
don't
all
you?
accept it. We all just accept
We
it.
just
That's what's
accept
going
it.
on.
So
yeah.
I wonder if it's happens when the opposite sex is around, that you feel the embarrassment
Yeah.
or whatever, because women generally just kind of laugh
Yeah.
their way through
So we
it
do.
and
We
work
just-
through
we
it
need-
and
we need
see
to
it
get
for what it
over it.
really is.
We
Absolutely.
need to see the humour in it, and we need to move on. don't we?
Absolutely.
Well, awesome. So finally, with such a wonderful panel of wise birds gathered in one room tonight, I wanted to ask you each for a piece of sage advice that you would pass on to younger women. What's a piece of sage advice that you might want to hand on?
Think for yourself.
Look, just go with it. Some people get very minimal symptoms and some get a lot. It just what you dealt with you know, but you just got to go with what happens and not predict and not think, oh God, this is happening at my age, I won't be able to do this. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, we've even got a choir at work. We're doing everything,
Awesome.
you know.
You're trying just all sorts of outrageous and wonderful ideas. Helen, any thoughts?
Well, I
Anything come
guess
to you?
remember that you're not in it alone and find the wise
Not in
voice
it alone.
and share it.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
And share it. Wonderful. Thank you for the sage advice this evening. Thanks to our wonderful panel, Helen Gay-Tony and Betty Chapman, and of course the wonderful Janice Gray.
Thank you.
And you've been
Thank
watching
you.
Loose Lips. We're back again next week on CTV, or join in the conversation on our Facebook page anytime you like. Good night.
Thank you.